Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Canal Algérie's nightly news. Here are tonight's top stories. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, receives on Tuesday the Ambassador of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, James Robert Stephen Downer. Also tonight, we follow the graduation ceremonies of new batches of the Higher School for Territorial Air Defense and the Higher School of National Gendarmerie. The results of Algeria bid launched by a Neft agency are revealed, and a selection of international companies are granted exploration permits. And developments on the escalation in the Middle East, Zionist attacks on several regions of Tehran, while the Iranian Air Force strikes strategic military and intelligence targets. Welcome back. We kick off with tonight's top story as the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received His Excellency, the Ambassador of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, James Robert Stephen Downer. The meeting was attended by the Principal Private Secretary of the Presidency of the Republic, Balem Balem, and the Advisor to the President of the Republic in charge of Judicial Affairs of Diplomatic Affairs, Ammar Abba. Here's what the UK's ambassador had to say.
I am very pleased today to meet with the President. I have held the position of ambassador since January 2025, and I had the opportunity to once again discuss with the President the various areas of cooperation between our two countries, Algeria and the United Kingdom. We can say that we are making significant progress in many key sectors: justice, defense, education and trade, all moving in the right direction. I also discussed regional issues with the President and was very pleased to see that we share many concerns and approaches, which is extremely important. I am delighted with today's meeting with the President. We will soon celebrate the birthday of His Majesty King Charles III here in Algeria, and we look forward to welcoming many friends and acquaintances at this event.
On to this communiqué by the General Directorate of Communication at the Presidency of the Republic. Quote, several social media accounts have been circulating news that President Abdelmajid Tebboune had conducted an interview with French newspapers. This prompted several online newspapers to republish the content. However, the content is pure fabrication, originating from hostile accounts that use Photoshop to mislead Algerian and international public opinion, while the General Directorate of Communication at the Presidency of the Republic denies that the President of the Republic has conducted any media interview with foreign newspapers. We strongly condemn these brazen and unethical methods which new information and communication technologies have made possible for mercenaries who specialize in fabricating slander from behind the screens. We call on all media professionals inside and outside the country to verify the truth regarding similar news from its official source. End quote. The Higher School for Territorial Air Defense celebrated the graduation of new officers, honoring tradition, excellence, and national pride in a ceremony marked by military displays and symbolic tributes. Mili Salila Balaman has the full story.
Within the grounds of the Higher School for Territorial Air Defense Shahid Ali Shubati, a moment of pride and honor was renewed with the graduation of new officer classes across various specialties. The graduation ceremony began with an inspection of all formations by Major General Abdelaziz Houam, Commander of Territorial Air Defense Forces. This was followed by an opening speech delivered by the Commander of Higher School for Territorial Air Defense, who highlighted the institution's key role in producing highly skilled personnel.
Territorial air defense now stands as the true safeguard of the national security. Your mission is not an easy one. It is a noble duty that demands the highest values and the utmost professionalism.
With a single voice, the graduates took the oath. Next, ranks and diplomas were awarded to the top graduates of the class. The ceremony continued with the symbolic handover of the flag from the outgoing class to the incoming one.
أطلب من سيادتكم الموافقة على تسمية دفعات المتخرجة باسم المجاهد المتوفى الشيخ أمر بن مختار.
Before the commander of the Territorial Air Defense Forces gave his approval to name the graduation class after the late Mujahid and Tuareg resistance leader Sheikh Ahmed bin Mukhtar. The event was also marked by military and athletic demonstrations, showcasing the high-level training received by the graduates. As part of the demonstration of operational capabilities, attendees toured the various stands of an exhibition featuring projects completed by the graduates. At the close of the ceremony, the family of the late Mujahid Sheikh Ahmed bin Mukhtar was honored by the Major General, who also signed the school's guest book.
To another graduation ceremony where the acting Gendarmerie Commander, General Sid Ahmed Bourmana, presided over the graduation of several classes at the higher school Shahid Maz Mohammed in Ziralda after completing advanced military and academic training. من المعافى هزمر.
At the higher school of the National Gendarmerie, top officers graduate from programs in command, logistics, advanced training, and law and public security. The ceremony was presided over by the acting Commander General Sid Ahmed Bourmana, who reviewed the graduating classes. These graduates received high-level scientific and military training, equipping them to carry out their duties with efficiency and excellence.
أيها المتخرجون.
Dear graduates, I urge you to uphold a spirit of discipline and loyalty in fulfilling your sacred duty, embodying the highest moral, patriotic, and human values. Live up to the expectations placed in you and the great responsibility you now carry toward your country and your institution.
التي ستتحملونها أمام وطنكم ومؤسستكم. أقسم بالله العظيم. أقسم بالله العظيم. أن أكون خادما وفي بلدي. أن أكون خادما وفي بلدي.
After taking the oath, diplomas were awarded and ranks conferred upon the graduates, including trainees from friendly and brotherly nations. The ceremony concluded with the symbolic handover of the flag between the outgoing and incoming classes. The event ended with the school's commander naming the graduating classes in honor of the late freedom fighter, Army Corps General Ben Abbas Ghazil.
الموافقة على تسمية دفعتنا باسم المجاهد المتوفى
The ceremony was followed by combat and sports displays, highlighting the students' skills and readiness. A military parade also showcased the discipline and determination worthy of tomorrow's leaders. At the end of the ceremony, the family of the late Mujahid bin Abbas Ghazir was honored, followed by General Sid Ahmed Bourmana signing the school's guest book.
On Tuesday, exploration licenses were awarded to companies from several countries as part of the Algeria Bid Round 2024. The ceremony was led by the Minister of Energy, Mines and Renewable Energies. Report by Walid Yousfi, taken up by Manal Mafo.
They are all potential investors, major oil and gas giants from Asia, Europe and Latin America, gathered for the bid opening ceremony in Algeria's oil and gas sector. This marks the first tender of its kind since 2014.
This round comes in a promising economic and legal context driven by major reforms under President Abdelmajid Tebboune. Laws 1913 on hydrocarbons and 2218 on investment have created a new, attractive framework that ensures greater security and transparency for investors.
لا سيما من خلال قانون 1913.
لقد حرصت الوكالة منذ
Since the launch of this session, the agency has maintained high standards of transparency and professionalism, from preparing legal and technical documents to providing digital access to geological data and evaluating bids based on strict technical and financial criteria.
وفق معايير تقنية مالية دقيقة.
The Algeria Bid Round 2024 features exploration blocks in Wergla, Ghardaya, El Mni'a, Elizi, Adrar and In Saleh provinces, regions chosen for their rich subsoil and strong exploration potential. We have won today the contract for Regan with our PTT partnership. This will strengthen our presence in the country and our partnership with Sonatrach. This is an opportunity to strengthen our activity in the country.
Donc, c'est une opportunité encore pour renforcer notre activité dans le pays.
We are honored to be awarded in this parameters to ZPEC, and we feel very happy, and also we will feel very pressure on ourselves because we will make a lot of great investment in the future to Algeria. So that's why we are going to moving forward.
5 sites were awarded after the evaluation phase, with contracts to be signed by the successful bidders no later than July 30th.
Let's head to Cape Town, South Africa, where the Secretary of State in charge of renewable energies, Noordin Yassa, is taking part in the official opening ceremony of the 27th session of Africa Energy Forum, during which Yassa reaffirmed Algeria's willingness to join the Africa Green Hydrogen Alliance, which is a strategic initiative that aims to unify the efforts of African countries on the development and promotion of green hydrogen as lever of decarbonization to achieve energy sovereignty and sustainable development. This step is a reflection of Algeria's commitment to perform a pivotal role in energy transition in the African continent and to promote its position in the high-capacity new energy sectors. Yassa showcased on the occasion Algeria's experience in the sector of sustainable energy strategy and available investment opportunities. On the sidelines of the forum, the Secretary of State held bilateral talks with the South African Minister of Energy Sector, Kago Sianchora Mogoba. where both sides discussed promoting cooperation between Algeria and South Africa in renewable energies, notably technical expertise exchange, launching joint projects, and discovering funding mechanisms to accompany energy transition. In Algerian-European cooperation, the Minister of Foreign Trade and Promotion of Exports, Kamal Rizieq, took part along with the President of the Algerian Economic Renewal Council, Kamal Moula, in the kickoff of the International Food Fair, SAN, Free from Specialty Food Expo 2025 in Vienna, Austria. Algeria was selected as the guest of honor of this edition. While visiting the Algerian pavilion, Rizieq hailed the competitive level of Algerian businesses in the food sector, underlining the need to seize such international events to promote the national products in order to access new markets. Coming up in our news edition. Alarming developments from the Middle East, where the long looming tensions between Iran and the Zionist entity have erupted. Stay with us for more updates as this critical situation unfolds. Welcome back. We kick off the diplomacy window of the night from New York in a session devoted to the situation in Syria. Algeria's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Benjama, gave a speech on behalf of A3+ at the Security Council, in which he noted that it is high time to support Syrians by action rather than words, because stability in Syria is extremely important to the Syrian people and to the entire region. Amid the regional developments and the unprecedented tensions in the Middle East following the Zionist aggression on Iran, the foreign ministers of Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, Pakistan, Bahrain, Brunei Darussalam, Turkey, Chad, Algeria, Comoros, Djibouti, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Somalia, Iraq, the Sultanate of Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, Libya, Egypt, and Mauritania all reaffirmed the rejection of the Zionist attacks on Iran, qualifying it as a breach of international law and the principles and objectives of the UN Charter, calling for the need to respect the sovereignty of states and unity of its lands and the principles of good neighborliness and the resolution of conflicts through peaceful means. The foreign ministers all reiterated the importance of clearing the Middle East of nuclear weapons and other mass destruction weapons in accordance with the relevant international laws without selectivity, as they stressed the necessity of not targeting nuclear facilities subject to International Atomic Energy Agency safeguards in accordance with the agency's resolution and the relevant Security Council resolutions, as well as the urgency of resuming negotiations as soon as possible, all while stressing that the only solution to resolve crisis in the region are diplomacy, dialogue, and the commitment to the principles of good neighborliness in accordance with the rules of the international law. On the ground, Iran's retaliation against the Zionist attacks are still ongoing, unleashing ballistic missiles that have reportedly struck deep, targeting key military installations and security hubs. Details with Melissa Kebesh.
Tensions in the Middle East have dramatically escalated following Iran's 10th wave response to Zionist aggression, launching ballistic missiles that have reportedly struck deep inside Zionist territory. These attacks have sent shockwaves through the region. This latest Iranian barrage appears to have overwhelmed Zionist air defenses, causing significant disarray among military leaders. The angry missiles primarily targeted Zionist air bases and the launch pads for their fighter jets. This comes just hours after strikes on what was described as the security core of the Zionist entity, including military intelligence headquarters and a center for assassination planning. This attack reportedly crippled defense systems, which seemed unable to intercept or even detect the oncoming attacks. This Iranian offense is presented as a direct retaliation for recent Zionist aerial and intelligence aggressions. Analysts suggest Zionist targets had previously included Iranian ballistic missiles, launch platforms, and nuclear sites. Earlier Zionist attacks reportedly targeted several locations in the Iranian capital, Tehran, although Iran claims its air defense systems successfully intercepted some hostile targets in the western city of Nahavand. Furthermore, Iran experienced widespread internet outages across multiple provinces, which some speculate could be linked to these events. Analysts warn that the current escalation with missile fragments and missile now striking Iran risk dragging the entire Middle East into a dark and unpredictable future.
And while the world focuses its attention on the aggression on Iran, the Zionist aggressor is persistent in its genocide on Gaza. Zionist forces killed at least 70 people seeking aid in Khan Yunis, south of the Palestinian enclave, bringing the death toll in the past 24 hours to at least 89 martyrs, while many are injured in a critical situation, according to the medics at Nasser Hospital. As Algerians living abroad return for the summer holidays, emotions run high. For many, it is a long-awaited reunion with the family and a chance to reconnect with their homeland and introduce it to a new generation. Mini Salila Balaman depicts for us the beautiful atmosphere that prevailed during these reunions.
As summer begins, many Algerians living abroad are making their long-awaited return home. Among them is Mohammed, accompanied by his wife and daughter, visiting Algeria for the very first time.
I came back mainly to see my parents and spend time with my family, but it is also an opportunity to reconnect with our country, to enjoy the landscapes and savor the traditional food we have missed so much. It's been nearly 2.5 years since I came to Algeria. I am incredibly happy to see my loved ones again and to be back in my country. 2 years have passed since my last visit. I have had a baby since, and now I am finally introducing her to her roots and showing her her family she has never met. I have been counting down the days.
Whatever travel fatigue they may have felt fades quickly. Many members of the diaspora are welcomed with support and a sense of belonging as they set foot on the Algerian soil. At the airport, dedicated staff are in place to ensure a smooth arrival.
The process was really efficient this time. Everything went quickly and the airport service was excellent. Customs was a lot faster and easier than I expected. This year, new measures have been introduced to ease travel for Algerians living abroad. In the past, many had to apply for an emergency passport. Now they can simply present a valid foreign passport along with an expired Algerian biometric passport or national ID card. That's enough to enter the country. No emergency passport needed.
بطاقة تعريف جزائرية بيومترية حتى وإن كانت منتهية الصلاحية.
Every summer, Algerian authorities make it a priority to welcome nationals returning from abroad, aiming to provide the best possible conditions for a smooth, comfortable, and meaningful welcome.
And with these warm moments, we end tonight's bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Take care.